I don't talk about translation and localization that much these days. When I do, something really special must have happened. This is a game called Union Syndrome Rhythm Psychosis, a rhythm game about a girl who has severe brain rot from listening to too many songs, I guess. The reason why this game is on my radar is because plenty of people complain about the localization of this game because they found out a lot of lines being changed that are incredibly baffling. This text literally says Yamero in hiragana. That means stop. And somehow it's translated to end fascism. That is horrible. That is just one example out of the many that you all can see for yourself on the amount of chats and user comments that are completely butchered and are documented very well on their Steam post. I am so glad that a game developer is this transparent about the text changes. I'm glad that they're listening to feedback to correct all these ridiculous changes, and I wish more game developers follow. I get that the issue of localization requires a lot of nuance and context, but the Union Syndrome game translates Yamero, which literally means stop, to end fascism. That is just horrendous translation, and some people are okay with this garbage. I don't think this is a good idea. Nobody who has played the game really had a problem with the translation. Yes. Because they don't know, not because they don't care. I read the Steam post of what's changed. They even changed the whole context of scenes. That's enough to make me care. And if most people read what's changed, I'm sure they would too. Please don't let a loud minority dictate your vision. I agree if the loud minority is in the wrong. In this case, the loud minority is in the right, and the silent majority just needs a little push to that direction. I absolutely love it when people just take their mask off. After defending the horrendous localization changes from the game Union Syndrome, this person decided to delude themselves after facing the reality that most people do not like basic Japanese words being translated to garbage. Gamers and otakus have never been bullied in high schools. Wow. Just wow. I have no words. I'll just play this clip.
You're not living in reality. You're totally detached from reality.
Anime and games have always been popular and well respected by everyone until the weirdos invaded. No, you got things backwards. They are never well respected. The people who are into them are considered weirdos. The people who want to join are the non-weirdos, the normies. But you are a different kind of weirdo if you ask me. Also, this has gotta be one of the most visceral ratios that I've seen. Those are some really high numbers.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
Anime and gaming have never been niche. Don't be so dramatic. Okay, you are officially living on an entirely different plane of existence. To the Union developers, we might be a loud minority, but this is one crazy individual, and you'd better off not listening to this lunatic. We have plenty more gaming hooplas to discuss. PlayStation games purchased digitally after March system update will now require an internet connection once every 30 days to validate. Yes, let's punish the legitimate users for what the pirates are doing, right? Thankfully, this was just a rumor, and Sony came out and debunked the whole situation, so their PlayStation instructional video still aged well after all. But 2K and Denuvo are still upping their DRMs, to the point where Sonic Crossroad players cannot play the game for free on their official free weekend. Thank you, Denuvo! But hey, while the whole situation is debunked, let's pretend that they are real for a moment, because there are people actually defending it. Just click restore license. It's not hard. Yeah, that's really easy to do when the internet's running, right? Since the internet at this point is about as essential as electricity, you PlayStation fanboys are just too terminally online to realize that you don't need to go online for single-player games. But game companies really love making it like that. If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at the jailbreakers, those that pirate and steal games. Are you nuts? The jailbreakers and pirates are the ones providing the solution for this problem. You want me to get mad at them for daring to make people actually own games? They are the reason PlayStation, Steam, Xbox, etc. take these measures. Steam literally doesn't do this. Denuvo does, but not Steam. I don't know why you include Steam among those anti-consumer console manufacturers. There's a reason why people are gaming on PC. Oh man, we have this message again, except instead of SpongeBob, it's the cute little android Diana from Pragmata. People who emulate games should be fined or sent to jail for theft. And this is the reason why you're not in charge of the legal system. Emulation is illegal and hurts the industry. First off, emulation is not illegal. Second, the industry literally needs emulation to play older games. So if you're going to arrest people for emulation, you're going to arrest Nintendo, because that's what they literally do for their older games. Third, they do not hurt the industry. The publishers hurt the industry. They literally are the industry, and they're hurting themselves. I pay for my games, so should you. It's only fair. Why should I pay for games that aren't officially sold anymore? And even if they are still being sold and I can get them through the seas, why should I pay just because you pay? If you must demand people to be fair because they can do what you can't do, you already lost. You can have a positive or negative opinion, but some opinions come from a terrible basis. Cyberpunk 2077 is boring. I wanted to like this game, but I just can't. That is fine. I also can't bring myself to get into any of the Witcher games, but I can go through Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe I just like the sci-fi setting more. I have beaten Cyberpunk 2077 and its Phantom Liberty DLC. I think they are both excellent games despite the horrendous launch. The gameplay is a bit of a mixed bag in terms of an action RPG, but the writing, the narrative, the characters, they are incredibly solid and truly worth going through the game. Shame that pretty much all of these endings are a downer, but that's typical for Cyberpunk, I guess. Anyway, I bring this guy up because I want to highlight a point. Your opinion of a game is subjective, and I can't argue with that. But what I can argue against is how you played the game. You'd assume that people form their opinions on games based on the fact that they played a good majority of it. But this guy only played the intro over and over again and ended up quitting without going to the main content. Yeah, maybe play through the main content first before you form your opinions. We're not straying too far from Gaming Hooplas with our next one. This is an insane argument to be defensive of. It's about Resident Evil of all things. I think you need to reevaluate the difference between a fictional scientist making a funky virus to literal non-consensual activities and incest. Well, yes, I do know the difference between mad scientists wanting to take over the world and non-consensual activities and incest. Do you? This person roleplayed as Albert Wesker, because clearly the fictional madman spreading the funky virus, committing literal genocides and wanting to take over the world is not as bad as non-consensual intercourse and forbidden familial relationship. Those are real and can happen to people in real life. I think that's what they're trying to say. But even if it's a lot easier to do what Shinji Mato did than bioweapons taking over the world, fictional crimes do not translate to real-life crimes. Just because it's more likely that people will force others to non-consensual activities than spreading bioweapons doesn't mean that fictional content containing non-consensual activities automatically turn people into criminals. In short, fiction won't turn you into criminals. You will. It's crazy how Resident Evil becomes this popular as a horror franchise. I can't wait for Zack Krieger's take on Resident Evil. He's the perfect director for this movie, as his previous two films managed to be both scary, creepy, and campy at the same time. Barbarian is basically what happens when you take the girl from Requiem and give her a whole movie to shine. It's alright, but it does have the most Resident Evil vibe, specifically 7. Weapons, on the other hand, has a nice build-up with a rather weak and unfulfilling mystery, but it absolutely lands in a wild, bizarre, and incredibly entertaining ending that makes the whole journey totally worth it. I don't understand why Game Boost decided to celebrate Capcom's massive revenue with AI-generated pictures of their franchise characters. You could have just taken the game screenshots. Anti-AI people crying about every basic use of AI are becoming almost as bad as vegans or gym bros. I don't care if we are just as annoying as them. This garbage is unacceptable, and we're not gonna shut up about that. So you want them to spend 20 minutes carefully cutting characters out in Photoshop from Google Images? Yes. Literally yes. Making something like this takes less than 20 minutes. Do your work. Change your avatar too. You have stolen grace. Using a copyrighted character as an online profile picture is not stealing, you doofus. Some people's reliance towards AI genuinely has to be studied because I have a feeling that these people are no longer human. I built an automation in one night because I was tired of staring at my wife across the breakfast table at 7 a.m. trying to come up with feelings. Divorce. Just divorce. Be another statistic, please. Here's what happened. Sorry, but you're not him. He is way more human than you ever will be. Last Tuesday, I sat down with coffee trying to write an anniversary card. 45 minutes later, I had 3 words. Happy anniversary, Susan, and a migraine. Wow, a migraine from writing an anniversary card. You are a genuine embarrassment as a human. But hey, at least he keeps up with his workouts with those deadlifts, right? That's when it hit me. Why am I loving my spouse manually? Because you are a human being, having a relationship with another human being. Why should I even have to explain this concept to you? This should have been built on your DNA by this point. By Wednesday morning, I had a complete romance pipeline. Every day at 8 a.m., ChatGPT generates 3 spontaneous compliments based on my communication style and are texted to my wife automatically. You are absolutely demented. Automating your chats with your wife using AI. If your wife genuinely buys it, you are both idiots, and you two deserve each other. You don't need to be a couples counselor. You don't need a massive emotional budget. That's right, guys. Sending your wife a message that you love her and she's beautiful is a massive emotional budget. Just divorce right now, please.
Nothing says true love like a divorce fund.
And that's all for the video today. Here's a cat. Huge thanks to all the wonderful sponsors this week. You're all fantastic. Don't forget to check out my previous videos here. Click the like button, comment, subscribe, join the YouTube membership, leave some tips, just $1 down below. And thanks for watching.